Welcome to He Said Part 2. Y'all came back, huh? And all of my distinguished gentlemen came back. That's pretty cool. They're pretty brave. They care a lot about me and just want to help me. But they were brave to come back because, man, the women had a lot to say. They had a lot to say this week. And I've been hearing from you ladies, but I've been holding my own. I really have, because y'all been coming left with some stuff, but that's okay. And you sent in your questions, and we're so excited about that. So let's get started. And gentlemen, when I introduce you, make sure you wave when I introduce you, because they want to know exactly who's who. So let's get this thing started. He said, welcome to He Said. They're still coming in. Welcome to He Said, an enlightening and engaging conversation, insights into dating, relationship, and marriage from a male's perspective. I'm your host, Angela Carr Patterson, and I'm so delighted to have you join us for part 2. Part 1 was so good to you wanted some more. And I've even had someone ask me to just turn this into a TV show with these guys. And listen, we may just do that on JD3 TV, which is one of the fastest growing streaming networks in the country. And so I've already asked for a second show. I'm doing a show there, and Dentley said yes. So we may just do that. Okay. Those of you know me, you know me. Most of you here know me. So let's get into what I want to share. I've always wanted to have a safe and sacred space whereby men and women could come together and really have a conversation, because all change starts with a conversation, but not just any conversation, an authentic conversation that awakens our soul. And so we decided to hear from the men, because ladies, we sit around and we talk all the time about relationships. There's so many forums, there's so many things out there. And so I wanted you to hear from them. Recent studies show that there's a collapse in marriage that's spreading widespread in the United States, and loneliness is really huge. Our Surgeon General Murthy released an advisory on Tuesday, May the 2nd, addressing the epidemic of loneliness and how it's affecting the country. He even stated that loneliness in the U.S. is doing this damage that cigarettes did on society. So what happens when our relationship thrives? When our relationship thrives, our family thrives. And when our family thrives, our community thrives. And when our communities thrive, our nations thrive. When people are loving and loved and happy, progression happens. And so last week, we heard from our distinguished panel of men, and who I handpicked for this. And they're my friends and my colleagues, they're my spiritual brothers and sons. And so we want to meet them. Let me unmute them, because I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this thing. Gentlemen, you can unmute. Okay, make sure you're unmuting. Can you unmute now? Check and see. You should be able to.
Info.
Okay, good. Let me get down here. Okay. There you go. I think everybody's, David, you should be able to. Okay, that's everybody. Okay, so let's meet the men. They range from late 30s, 40s, 50s, and late 60s. Some are married, some are divorced, some are single, and some are in a relationship. And they've been told to share with you the truth. And oftentimes the truth doesn't feel good. Now, ladies, let me say this again. They are not for sale. Do not direct message them. They are for sale. Okay. They're not here for that. So I just want to, don't send them a direct message. Don't in the chat, because they're going to tell me. Okay. Yes, they are handsome. Yes, they are real men. Yes, they are stand-up fathers and just all around good men. And I love them from my soul. And so let's introduce to them. The first one is Gerard Hill. He's an U.S. Army National Guard. He is married and has one beautiful daughter and two huge dogs, American Bulldogs. He's amazing, and he is my son-in-love, okay? So do not direct message him. This young man has an old soul. He loves his wife and child. His dedication to helping youth is remarkable. He's wise beyond years, and I'm honored to have him call me mom. This is really a good man. Let's welcome Gerard Hill. Okay, next we have Jamar Washington. Jamar Washington Sr. is an successful entrepreneur, an author. He lives in Las Vegas. He's from New York. He's married, has two beautiful children. He's the creator of the I Won't Starve movement. And I have recently adopted him as my son. And so let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Jamar Washington. Welcome. Wave your hand, Jamar. Okay, good. Next, we have my brother, Ron Harvey, who I ran into yesterday, retired military, very successful entrepreneur and leader in the community. He's married and they have 3 children. Most people think he's my husband's brother because they look so much alike. He's truly an amazing, successful entrepreneur, and he's always here when I need him. Let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Ron Harvey. This next brother is an amazing man. Attorney Kevin Kurtz is a powerful attorney who has appeared as a legal expert on tons of television shows. He's smart. He's also a martial arts expert. He's my brother from another mother. You want a man like Kevin in your corner. He's single, has a beautiful daughter who is also an attorney, and an amazing grandson whom he adores. His parents were married for 70 years before one of them passed away. So he understands how to make this stuff work. They left him a legacy. Welcome to the stage, Attorney Kevin Kurtz. Next, we have Mr. Andre Barnes. I've never seen, heard, or experienced a minister like this man. He is no run-of-the-mill minister. He's a brother that breaks down the word and makes it relevant like no other. We've served on several panels several times, and I love working with him and sharing platforms with him because he's the real deal. He's married, and together they have 8 children. Let's welcome Andre Barnes. And our next brother here is Mr. David Drew, who lives in Atlanta. David is a decorated war hero, retired Army. He's an author and filmmaker. He's been by my side on many projects for a number of years. He's part of our family. My children adore him. My husband's crazy about him. He's single and he has 2 beautiful daughters. Let's welcome David Drew. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Tommy Henderson. He's known me the longest, probably for about 30, 35 years. He has been the go-to person in the entertainment industry. He's worked with the likes of Whitney Houston, TLC, the Jacksons, Janet Jackson, Dallas Austin, Babyface. Tommy was the go-to person, and he's well connected and respected in the entertainment industry. He hails here from Portland, Oregon. Tommy stepped away from his full-time job as an music executive so that he could move all the way to Oregon so that he could be a full-time father to his son. What an amazing thing to give up everything to be there for his son. Welcome, Tommy Henderson. So, ladies, put your internet hands together and let's welcome these distinguished men here. I am so delighted to have you guys to come once again. You said yes when I asked the first time, and then I came back and asked again. It takes a lot to be my friend, doesn't it? I keep asking. That's okay. So let's set the atmosphere. So this is how it will run. This time, ladies submitted questions. And so we're going to see how many questions we can get. They were pre-submitted. Ladies, I need you to keep yourselves muted. And if we have time, we'll let you ask a question in the chat. So first of all, no judgment here. No judgment here, just awareness. And what awareness does is it gives us the ability to make a new choice. You will be challenged because of some of the things that you'll hear. These are new things, but it's important to remember that new things create new experiences. So be willing to step into a new space. You may feel uncomfortable. You're gonna want to challenge what they have to say. And like many of you were texting me and calling me last week and wanted to challenge. And the thing is, that defense mechanism will come up. It will challenge you because it's something new, and it wants you to feel uncomfortable because that's just the way it is. You may want to blame. You may want to get mad. Some of you may get upset and jump off of here. Some of you you got your own opinions. Well, guess what? Get your own platform and share your own opinion. You can do that. That's what I'm doing. You don't argue with me and argue with them. Get you a platform. It's free out here on the internet. So some of you may even shut down and get just downright pissed off and run away. But this kind of behavior keeps us stuck. And it's okay to feel this way because it's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. That's what it means. And but just don't react to these feelings and these impulses. When we begin to feel these feelings, it means that we're stepping outside of our comfort zone, outside of the realm of what we actually know, and moving into a space that we don't have a compass. And that's when your mind is going to try to convince you that something is wrong, or that what is being said is not true, or it won't work because your mind wants to keep you safe. But you're not your mind. You have a mind. And here's the deal. It wants to keep you safe, but nothing good happens in the comfort zone. When you feel these emotions, anger, anxiety, judgment, just pause and acknowledge them. Then take 100% responsibility to move forward and recognize that these feelings are simply that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's all. And outside of your comfort zone is where the real magic happens. And I believe that we can change this thing around. That's what's happening with our relationships. I really do. But we got to hear from each other, and we got to do it with some respect. So I invite God's spirit to enter our minds, and that our thoughts might be guided to innocence and love, and not stray to defense and attack. Thus, our relationships will be blessed and the potential for love fulfilled. So I went through your questions. Some of you asked some questions that was almost insulting, and I would not ask these men these questions, okay? They were just like, you want to stab. Oh, you're going to stay by yourself like that, y'all. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep. I would not ask these men some of those questions, but some of you asked some really respectful questions I wanted to know the answers to. So those are the ones that were selected. So if some of your questions were not selected, some of it was just because they was just, no, just kidding. So let's get started, guys. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all are ready. Okay. Let me see something. Make sure I'm getting all these. Okay. Let me see. Ron, are you unmuted now, Ron? Okay. Let's see. You need to unmute again? Okay. I think you do too, Jamal. Let me see. I think everybody went on mute. I think that's everybody. I think you're all. No? Kevin? Okay, good.
So do you want us to stay off mute or?
Stay on. I need y'all to stay on. I mean, stay unmuted. Yeah.
10-4.
Yeah. Okay, good. Somebody put in the chat. I was reading. Okay. They still come in, y'all. Yeah. This is funny. Okay.
I want to hear the blacklisted questions, Andrew.
You want to let you want I'll share with you those blacklisted questions.
Yeah,
You
let's
gonna be
go
like,
ahead. Go
"What?"
to the dark side, Angela.
Exactly.
Oh
'Cause-
man. Are
Because
you
because
serious?
it sounds like that's what's needed.
I
We need to hear we
Go
need to hear
over to the
everything.
dark side, Angela.
go to the dark side.
Yeah.
Kevin, I have a point, brother. I believe you have a point. That's
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna see. I might let's see that well, okay.
Kev ain't never scared. He just want to start the riot
That's
straight
what-
off the bat.
You gonna
Yes.
come straight at me. Yeah, I know.
He ready to spar. Let's go.
Okay, so here's the question. Why do men lie even when we women know the truth? Anybody can jump in. Why do
That
we
wasn't on the dark list.
that ain't on the dark list? That's a good one. No, that's a good one compared to what
So
you got.
here's my answer. Here's my response. I say response. Why
Okay.
do women lie? Even when men know the truth.
Mm,
You know, people lie. So
Yeah.
first of all, you can't generalize. All men don't lie, even when you know the truth. So that's an individual case by case thing or situation by situation.
mhm,
But sometimes you might not say anything because you know what the response is going to be.
mhm.
So it's better, like I tell my clients, go ahead and plead the fifth. And if you don't admit it, they got to prove it.
Okay. So we gotta prove. So let me ask you a tail into that question. Do y'all, not everybody lie, okay? But this is for you. Do you lie to avoid confrontation? Jamal,
Well,
It happens.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Jim.
go ahead,
you know,
Jamal. Uh-huh.
All right, so this is like crazy because there's a couple different situations with this. So
Right.
you can go with if you already know what happened, why don't you just address what happened instead of trying to set him up to see if he's going to lie or not? So you can go that route. That's can save everybody any trouble. Then it is a situation where you have women who would say, just be honest with me, be honest with me. And then when you're honest, you lose their damn mind, excuse my French. So that's a whole nother thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't type of thing. So some guys just lie just because, you know, that's just who they are. But for the most part, it falls in those other three categories. If you know what's going on, just say that so you can fix the problem.
Mhm,
Or if you really want somebody to tell you the truth, be prepared to take in what it is, even if it's not good,
mhm.
and react, you know, the way you're supposed to react to it. Don't shun them because they told you the truth and move on. Why men do it, we can't say, as the brother said, everybody don't lie, but that's an individual scenario, you know, because every woman is going to say, probably just want to hear, well, I don't try to set a man up to see if he's going to lie, you know, but a lot of women do. So that's just individual, case by case and house by house basis.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Angela, let me speak on this for
Okay.
First of all, ladies, we don't wake up in the morning saying, okay, I got to get 3 lies in today before noon. Okay. Your track record actually determines whether or not we can be honest and open with you. Your reaction dictates that. So you've already set the ground rules. All right. You've already told me that when I tell you the truth, and I'd rather tell you the truth and see you hurt, okay, than for you to find it out later on, because then it's going to hurt more. But it's all about being open and being transparent.
Mhm,
Okay. But your track record determines how we react to you.
mhm,
And I found that to be true more often than not.
mhm. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Anybody else want to jump in?
Angela, I followed up and asked, here's my question to the ladies. I know y'all mooded and you can't really respond, but think about this. All right, you say, why does a man lie when you know the truth? Well, if he tells you the truth, what you gonna do with it?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
like the man said, if you already know the truth, just go ahead and confront him with that, so you can do one or two things. Because either you're gonna stay or you're gonna leave.
Right.
Or if you're trying to catch the man in a lie and you have no desire to leave, even when you catch him in that lie, what's the point? what are you proving?
Mhm.
You know, so the thing is, before you confront a man about not telling you the truth and trying to trap him, ask yourself, what am I going to do with this?
Okay.
Am I ready to leave, or am I still going to stay? And if you're still going to stay, just talk about it and move on.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Because that threat.
Hey, Angela.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Angela. Yeah, and I'll answer the question really direct.
Okay.
I think it's risky. I mean, the men weigh the options. Yeah, men weigh out what the risk is. Why men lie. I think men also lie is that thing that we talked about last time is it a safe enough space to be totally honest and still
Mhm.
be able to not lose everything that you fear of losing. So the lies come up when people fear loss of something that they don't want to lose, even though they may have messed up something or done something wrong or said something wrong. They don't want to lose everything they have. They rather stick with just letting it be the lie versus losing everything. So you find different scenarios and situations, as Jamar said, you got to weigh your relationship out where you can literally walk in and say, hey, I messed that up. I
Mhm.
didn't get that right. And without all of a sudden now your whole relationship is at risk. And I'm not saying that you should stay or go. That's not the question. The question is why do they? And I think there are a variety of reasons. And I think it goes back to is it safe enough to be totally brutally honest, regardless of what it's about, and not lose everything? Because I don't want to lose everything because I screwed up.
Wow, that's a good answer. That's good, Ron. That's really good. Okay,
Yeah.
Dre, you had something.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. I was thinking on those same veins, and I don't know if anybody else heard how skewed the question was. See, the question was out of a hurt place. That was an accusatory type question. You know, why do men lie?
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Watch this. A lot of men and women, I mean, in relationships, you lie by not addressing certain things that you need to address that the other person can't handle. That's a lie.
Mhm.
But it's in the name of preservation and picking your battles.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So we all do it. Don't make it exclusive to just men, because there's a lie of omission.
Yeah.
That's when somebody feels like they cannot address what they need to address at that time or within a season till they get frustrated, and then they blurt it out in the name of the truth, and you can't handle it.
Mhm.
You know, so I wanted to context that because the question was skewed. The question was by a person like Dig, but you know, and then Kevin came right back from the beginning and said, well, why do women lie? He could have just said, why do you lie? Whoever asked that question, you know, really, why do you lie? Because all of us have those selective times when the truth, you shouldn't lie, but when the truth isn't the best remedy for the situation.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say it like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
because sometimes depending on the situation, and you know you're wrong, okay, you're gonna lie. But at the same time, when you said maybe the other person can't handle this, it might be I ran into Rita the other day. Oh, you ran into Rita. What was that all about? No, I just ran into her. So what happened after you ran into her? What'd y'all do? I'm just letting you know I ran into Rita, you know, and it stems from that.
Yeah. It goes really deep.
And so I'm not going to mention running into Rita at all. And if I'm asked, when's the last time you saw Rita? Oh God, a couple of years.
Last time I told you. Last time I told you.
Who? Rita who?
Right, Rita who?
Exactly.
Gerard, you want to answer that one?
Yes, ma'am. So my fellow Army vets can relate to the term I'm about to say. Risk assessment.
Risk assessment, baby.
You gotta gauge your temperature. You gotta gauge your temperature. And if that precedent isn't set from jump that I can be open with you, then I mean you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And a lot of times, you know, I feel like men might skew the truth to save face, honestly.
So I hear you saying, number one, create a safe space where I can tell the truth. Number two, if I tell you the truth, can you handle it? And is it going to blow the whole thing? Am I going to lose everything because I'm telling you the truth? And when I tell you the truth, what are you going to do with the truth? So those are good, very good, good answers. So I'm going to read one of these questions that I said I didn't
Off
want
the
to
track list?
answer.
The dark side. That's right. Let's go.
That's the
Marie,
hood
what is
question.
the
The
question?
hood
Let's
question.
go.
Tanika
Nah.
asked,
Read
Right.
all the
Shaquilla,
dark side.
Shaquilla Neum. Go and read
That's
Shaquilla
right. I
Neum.
want to hear everything Keisha got to say.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
hold on,
Why? Oh, I hate to ask it. Why do older men prefer younger women when they can afford them or sexually please them?
Say when they can't.
Who said they can?
read that again.
I'm just telling you what.
What
Okay.
old men are they talking
I'm
about?
just
What's
telling you
old?
the question that I received. It said,
What age are they considering as old? That's the
I
question.
don't know. They said, why do older
Somebody already said no.
so why do older
What does that
men
even mean?
prefer younger
Y'all
women
don't know what that man can do.
when they can't afford them
They
or
can't afford it.
sexually please them?
What they mean afford? First of all, generally, when you are older, most men hit their financial peak at what, 50?
50s, in the 50s.
Mhm, mhm.
Right, in their 50s. So, and maybe they just interested in a woman. Maybe maybe that person, and they have something compatible with that person, despite age. You never know. And you don't know what that old man can do in the bedroom. Y'all cut that out.
And the way that question is posed, can't afford them. This woman's already coming from the scheme of
Gold
I'm gonna get
digger.
as much as I can
Gold
get out of
digger.
him.
Exactly.
Gold digger. That's a
Absolutely.
hood. That's a hood mentality. That's
Yeah.
a hood mentality, Tommy.
That's
Or that the
why I
guys
didn't want to answer that's why I didn't want to ask the question, but I wanted to put it, and then I thought about it. Let me put it out there so that, and this is asked by an older woman. It's not it's not a young woman that asked the question.
Well, the answer is in the question. Then.
The answer's in the question. Not only that, but this person has already put a price tag on what they see themselves as being worth.
Oh wow, yeah, that's true.
Well, also, it might be that this person is not successful themselves because we all are charged to be successful as grown individuals. And once you become a grown, successful individual that can take care of yourself, that's not a part of the conversation anymore. It's that, man, we can talk about the taking care of you sexually and all the other stuff, but that was the first thing. So that was the first thing top of mind. Can he take care of them? It's not a prerequisite that's
Right.
what happens. It shouldn't be anyway.
I want to add this now. Remember last week I did address the different phases. So sometimes men do have what we call arrested development. You do hit an era or a time when a more seasoned woman requires more of your emotional intelligence. You require more of your time, your ability to communicate, a softer side of you. And she doesn't necessarily want stuff at the time. She wants you. So that could be a challenge, for a man. Women go through midlife crisis, so do men. Sometimes men revert back and try to go get the younger woman because it's less work as far as the emotional intelligence, because all they want is stuff at that time. And it ministers to the man's id or ego that he can get that young lady's attention, whatever that is. And we hit this phase. Anybody hit this phase? You wonder if you still got it, whatever it is. Yeah. So that happens. So it's easier sometimes, Angela, and to the person that asked the question, to revert back to the younger woman because you don't have to do as much work, because all they want to do is see you every now and then. You give them a purse and they give you something, or whatever the exchange is, whatever. No, real talk. Real talk.
Get them babies credit, man.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she was sounding like, why does an old sugar daddy try to go get a younger woman? That's what the question.
That was one of the questions.
Sometimes, Angela, the younger woman has less baggage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate, Kev. The younger woman.
Oh, Andre, I mean,
she has less unpacked baggage.
Well, I mean, less
it's in there.
Baggage, less whatever she carrying, whatever it is. I'm not saying this. I mean, this is a generalization on all accounts.
I got it. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
But I'm just saying the flip side to that is.
I got you. I said less work. You said less baggage.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. And some of the ladies was like, what kind of question was that? And then somebody said, that's a horrible question. Sound like it came from a place of lack and trauma. So, I mean, and and so somebody else said, let's get the real questions that grown women ask. So and I'm not, and this is not to judge anybody. This was a question that she had, and I thought it was coming from a place of some hurt. Yeah.
Right,
And,
right.
and that's why I didn't want to ask. So that's just one of them. So here's another question. This was a pretty good, I thought. What qualities men look for in a potential partner for a long-term relationship or makes you want to commit to her? For the married man, what made you want to commit to your wife? So, what are the qualities that a man is looking for that when he's ready to look for something more permanent?
Yeah, I'll answer that one, Angela.
Okay.
I'll start off, I guess. Give it a try for my brothers. As I said earlier, emotional connection.
Okay.
I want to be emotionally connected to the person that I'm with. I want someone that respects me, admires me, that I respect and I admire. I want someone that I can communicate and talk with, not talk at, or that's talking at me. I want a woman that has her independence, where she has her own identity, but she can also be a great partner, and I don't lose me and she doesn't lose her. So when I looked at my wife, she was already smart, already working hard, already intelligent, and I didn't want her to lose that identity. So I still wanted her all of a sudden to still have that, because that's what attracted me. So I didn't want my wife to lose the things. And I think women sometimes come along on the coattails. So I don't want Linda to lose her identity. I'm attracted to a woman that works, that's smart, that's intelligent.
Yes.
So those things matter to me. I want her to have some shared interests with me in companionship. I don't want us to, I like the movies and she hates the movies. I want her to really know what I enjoy, walking through the park or going to the beach or whatever that thing is. And I want support and encouragement. If you can support and encourage me, regardless of what it is that I might want to pursue, without being a naysayer, I think I get enough of that outside. I don't want it to start at home. So I want support and encouragement. And it may be a dumb idea, but I don't want you to destroy me while I'm trying to figure out if it's really a dumb idea. So give me some space to work with. And then I want a woman that's physically attractive. I want a woman that's intimate with me. I want a woman that has intimacy and conversations. So there's a list what we look for. We may not say it all, but I don't look for a woman that depends on me to do everything. Now I'll help do everything in the house too, because I'm a cook and I'm a clean and I'm gonna wash clothes and take care of the kid. But I don't want a woman to expect me to do everything all of a sudden, and I'm just providing and she's just there.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Very good.
Somebody else?
I think he hit all bases. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Was good.
Yeah. He that finds a wife, she's already a wife. She's already wife material. She's already, when I met Lisa, I'd been single about 8 years. Didn't think I was gonna marry again. When I met Lisa, she was leading a song in church. No makeup, no nothing, Vaseline on her lips. And she was singing, and I could have swore the song she was singing is, "Oh Lord, I need Andre," something like that. That's not what, but while she was singing the song, I asked one of the elders in the pulpit, "Who is that?" And he told me her name. I said, "No, who is she?" And he was like, "Right now, Dre, right now." He told me who she was, and I asked my then pastor about her, and he sat back in the chair like I couldn't pull her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she, you don't know me. Tell him, you don't know me. Anyway, and I was a whole John 3:16, 360 and I when I saw her, I saw me. You know how you get that hole, that space in your life, and I saw her. She was such a lady. Femininity is fire to me, and she was a lady. And when we got to talking, one thing she would sing and go home, and other women that liked me said, "You chose the right one." Now that's something.
Yeah, that is.
Never in nothing. She ain't never in no mess. She at church. She gone. She taking care of kids, and this might sound corny as all get out, and she was committed to what she was doing to see about her kids till she was driving a car that was ridiculous. But when she stepped out of it, they didn't match. But she was just that committed. She cried when we traded that car in.
Wow.
Because it is taken all different places, kids in life.
Well,
And,
I would say this about you, Andre. since you've been married to her, I've seen remarkable growth
What?
and expansion in you as a man. Ron, have you seen it? Those of you know him. I mean, literally, I've seen you just come I mean, nothing was wrong with you before, but she took you to just being in that relationship, took you to an entire new level in your career, you as a person, as a human being. And that's when you
Yes,
know a
yes.
partnership is solid.
Yes, yes, and yes. I get my master's degree in August. I
Congratulations.
got a bachelor's last year
Facts.
and got 70% of my military disability that I couldn't get
Mm,
because of
that's
her,
good. Yeah.
and working on the other 30. So yeah, you know, that, you know,
You
I
got
was,
healthy, you lost 100 and some pounds. I mean, I've just seen you come.
Yeah,
Just that's
yeah.
what partnership is supposed to do when you come.
Angela Peace came with her.
Yes.
I'm a warrior, and
Mhm,
she's a worshiper.
mhm,
That I'm a worshiper, that's really a warrior, but she pulls on the
mhm,
softer side of me. You know, she's a sister, so we can get
Mhm.
down when we have to get down.
mhm.
But her overall spirit is, and her happy place.
Mhm.
She don't want to be. I have to ask her to sing before I minister. You know what I'm saying? Because her thing is, I don't have to do that. No, yes, you do. You're a part of me. But her happy place is with me.
Mhm.
I'm never just going to the store. I just
That's
want to get. Where you going? To the store? I'm going. I'm just
good.
going to get some toothpaste. And, you know, I'm going. Let's go. That's her happy place. And I had to learn to receive that because it was rare for somebody to love me for me,
Mhm.
not for who they thought I was or what you know, she
Mhm.
just me, you
That's
know. So
good.
yeah, I appreciate that.
But
Thank you.
did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I mean, that's what you guys want, right? That's what y'all want. Anybody else
Things
want?
on two things I left out, Angela, I think are important. And I think Kevin talked about it last time. Is men want someone that they can work with, not fight with.
Yeah.
Mhm,
You want we're looking for women that have a sense of humor. You know, so you can have fun.
Mhm,
I mean, and because fun
mhm.
is important and all of that. And when it's time to do business, but laugh and joke and
mhm.
don't take yourself so serious. So we look for that as well. I
Mhm.
think also the one thing that we didn't say, I think is important as we look at our women, our mates, our women. We want a woman that's secure with who she is and not get so caught up into what other woman looks like, her hair or her neck. I want a secure woman
Yeah.
that's comfortable with who she is and her skin, and don't get caught up in if the women that's walking around. I mean, there are beautiful women everywhere,
Right.
and don't get uncomfortable because you see somebody that may look better than you. You think your man is looking at them. Not necessarily true. We love who you are. Just be who you are.
Yeah.
Be okay with that and do
Yeah,
what
be
works
okay
for
with
your
that.
house. Don't come in here with wigs and weaves. No, we don't do that. We'll do your hair and we can do braids. But we agreed upon that from the beginning. That's what works for that's what works, you know, that's
Well,
what
I
works.
got me a whole wig collection, and
That's it. And
I
listen, the
paid
one
too
you
much
married
money
to,
for my wig.
the one that you married to is cool with it. You understand? You can role play and all kind of stuff with that. Go and do your thing.
Say Bill love it.
I got a
Yeah.
blonde one too. Yeah.
You can role play.
Hey, baby, get rid of my wigs. But
No,
it's
no.
a
Hey,
preference
me-
thing. It's a
Angela,
preference thing. Huh?
For me, it's just real simple. I need a woman who can accept me for who I am, no
Me.
matter where I am and what I am at all times. You know, I've
Me.
been with my
Yes,
wife
sir.
since I was 19 years old. I'm in my 40s now.
Mhm.
When she met me, we were from two different backgrounds. She two-parent background, educated, all that. I'm straight out of the hood, fresh out of the county, you know, jail in Newark, New Jersey, and wasn't too far from it in South Carolina. But she was there. She saw me through all of that. She saw me up, down, a significantly successful drug dealer to going and get saved, being right there with me, getting baptized, to
Come on.
everything else that I did, and she never changed. And so, yeah, it wasn't easy. No marriages, but that's the thing that kept our marriage, because we never switched up on each other when it came to, she didn't have to be something that I was something else, and I didn't have to be something else. Whatever we presented that day, we was going to deal with it, and that's what we wanted. Nobody else came in front of it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Anybody else?
Angela,
Yeah.
tell that that old lady who posed that last question.
Uh,
Go on, push them little girls off the swing set and get them out the way.
Kevin, I ain't playing with you. Get them out the way.
Kevin, mute him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Push
that's
them
funny.
girls off that merry-go-round. Get them,
And get them out the way.
get them out the way.
So,
Actually, seriously, Angela, we just want peace. I mean, we talked about this last time.
Mhm.
Most men, most mature men, let me express
Mhm.
that, because there are some men who don't really want anything. Let's be
Right.
honest.
Right.
When
right.
you come across them, you need to leave them alone and stop trying to hold other people accountable for how those type of men act.
mhm,
But a grown, mature man, he just wants peace.
mhm,
And really, he's going to offer you peace. You
yeah,
know, he's going to, as they say, he's going to cover you, like Andre was saying before. He's going to cover you. So, as Ron said, what I talked about last time, you know, don't nobody want to come in there and be sparring in the household. You know, we're not looking for a fight. Yeah, you bring peace. The fight is out in the street,
mhm,
but bring peace in the household, and you're going to have better relationships, whether they last for a lifetime or not.
yeah. When you come home, you don't want to, I know in my first marriage, there were times I was coming home and y'all, I literally would drive around the neighborhood to get myself ready to come to the house, And so that, you just, that when home is not peaceful, home is where you're undefended, where your spirit is open, and where you're unguarded, and you should not have to be guarded in your own home.
Mhm.
And so I get that. I really get that. So we have so anybody else want to answer that question? Because I have another one.
You got another hood question? No, I'm just
No, I okay. Okay. So here's one that I thought was very it was, where did that question go? It was really good. Okay. She says, sex in a relationship changes over times for various reasons. People get sick and, there are reasons. She said, intimacy is generally more complex and long lasting. She said, the smart answer is to say you want both as they go hand in hand, but how do you demonstrate intimacy without sexual intercourse? Keep it clean, brothers. Because intimacy is different from sex. It really is. So how do you keep the relationship strong when maybe someone has gotten to the point to where they're sick and they can't, we know people start getting older and things like that. And so what is most important is that intimacy. How do you demonstrate intimacy without sex?
I was going to say one thing that Lisa and I didn't know we were doing when I got discovered I had diabetes. That's a part of that.
Yeah.
That thing too. And even with my PTSD that didn't really manifest till we got married. We started, because we were communicators, because we were friends, there was just places of time together, just time together. I told y'all that was one of the strengths. But we do this thing where we didn't even know it was such thing. It's called footology. We give foot massages to each other. And in that, her spot is the heel. It helps her lower back. Mine will be up on my toes area, but that helps with your stimuli, your brain, and all. We didn't know. I just stumbled on it one day, but we were healing each other and helping each other. And it's an intimate space because we can be sitting on the couch. Yeah. We could be sitting on the couch without the TV on and not talking. But that massage time is, and something as simple as thank you. We lose the art of saying thank you. Yeah. Thank you makes a person feel appreciated and want to do more about you. So.
But I'm sorry, Andre. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
So we forget, and I think it was Kevin or somebody mentioned last week that my television in the living room just came on and I'm here by myself. Okay. I'm here. Bottom line, we were intimate with our mates and with people before the age of sex. I mean, what about holding hands? You know, let me carry your books. I just enjoy company. You know, let's just go walk. Let's just talk about whatever. So if you've blocked all that out and predicated your entire relationship on sex, yes, you're going to have a problem. But then you didn't have a real relationship to start with.
Right.
Okay. When you mentioned footology there, Andre, that took me somewhere else.
Oh, I can only imagine where you went, Dave. All right.
No, I'm just saying there are things that you have that, in my opinion, trump sex. Sex is a byproduct of a great relationship.
Intimacy, yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? There are other things you can do. I mean, you know, come on now. 24 hours together and all we're doing is sex? I don't want to do nothing for 24 hours. Let's talk about the small things, the subtle things, the little notes on the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? All of that is intimacy, people.
Yeah. I like that.
I pray for Lisa every morning, even though she's asleep. I do a voice prayer on my way to work. And so when she wakes up, she listens to it. And some of them she's saying.
That's a good one, Dre. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
And it's something powerful about hearing your man pray over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
That's free, fellas. Y'all can have that if y'all wasn't doing it.
I like that.
Andre.
Anybody else want to answer that question?
I think you can, like they said, holding hands, massages, kisses on the forehead.
Yeah.
Intimate conversations. But you know what really I found in 30 years of it's funny what you can find out about relationships when you're helping people take them apart.
Oh yeah.
And so I've been doing divorce cases for more than 30 years.
Wow.
But one of the primary things, and I'm gonna tie this to intimacy, that a woman really wants to feel is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just really
That's true.
Really wants to feel safe. And when women don't feel safe, there is no intimacy. There's not much you can do after that. You really can't even really sexually please them after that. Making a woman feel safe. And I don't mean just physically safe. I just mean safe in her person, safe in her confidence, safe in who she is, safe financially, safe health-wise. Those things, just assuring her that, like Ron has been saying, for men, offering a safe space. And I've had plenty of women tell me that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they don't feel safe, women go into a panic, and when they go into a panic, all hell break loose.
Yeah.
You know, so a woman can build a house, or she can burn that house down quite easy. And generally, if a woman ain't happy, ain't nobody in the house gonna be happy.
Nobody. That's true.
So and when I say helping to foster her feeling safe, I should say, because you can't make anybody feel anyway, but you can help them foster that in themselves.
Good point.
Yeah. I Angela, I'm intentional about the intimacy. And what I mean by that is I'm always going to speak of my wife publicly and in places, and she's going to hear her name. I'm going to call her when I'm on trips and I'm riding out. If I leave the house and 5 minutes later, I'm just calling. Nothing even important. I just call, say, hey, and I'm just driving. I just want to keep me company while I'm driving. I'm buying cars, not just for holidays. I'm buying cars just because. I felt like this today. Or I pick up flowers, not because of a holiday, just because, we're going to the movies and we leave the kids and take date night together. So we don't let the kids come between, the kids came from the marriage. So I don't want to destroy the marriage because of the children. But we got our own little code names for each other around the house, so when you see me, I call her Linda in public, but at home she's mommy. So when you just little things that show that we're intentional, that we pay attention, and that you still love the relationship. And that's what I constantly always say, hey, and I always ask, hey, what do you enjoy about what I do and what can I do better? So I do that with my wife. I don't get afraid to ask her questions because we do change.
Right.
Things do happen physically, mentally, emotionally.
It
And I
does.
want to be the one to make sure she's safe enough to say, hey, this is changing about me, this is happening. So I can pay attention to that, I can tend to that, and we can work together on it versus me getting caught up and or blindsided. So I intentionally talk to my wife about whatever's happening with her and me, and we work on all it together. And so we have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deliberate
Mhm.
touches and talking that smack. I'll be talking smack to
Yeah.
Lisa. Be like,
We,
boy,
we
you
know
better stop.
Mine is just simple. Me and my wife talk. I mean, I haven't missed a day of talking to her in 23 years.
Mhm.
And as I said, sometimes I wasn't even around. I remember, and I say this, and this, y'all don't take this with me because you don't have to be in that situation. But I literally paid somebody's bill for the opportunity to talk to my wife.
Mhm.
Respect. Yeah. Yeah.
So me and another brother was in county, and he needed to get out. He can get in contact with people. They ain't had no money. So I paid his people to call my wife. Back in those days, you couldn't call cell phones. You had to call from the phone. But I bailed him out to talk to my wife. So that's that. We never stopped talking.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. Respect.
One of the things that I'm hearing you, because, I don't want the women to think that all the work is on us, because it's not. And one of the things that I think sometimes women begin to feel like you guys take us for granted, as if you don't have to continue to do the work. Because listen, when we step out that door, people see us too. They hollering at us too. They coming for us too. Like I told you, my mom was 83 years old, and she said, I could get me a man when I can't get nothing to eat. She said, I'd have me 2 or 3 men by now at 80. So she used to say that all the time. And so here's the deal. Your women step out there looking good, smelling good. Somebody is trying to get their attention. And if you're not getting their attention at the house, like TD Jakes says, sometimes some women are so starved out from their men giving them what they need, till all a man got to do is tell her she looked pretty that day, and she done fell in love with him, because they're so starved out. And I heard one minister say, you got to be the first one every day to tell your woman that she's pretty. Don't let somebody else tell her that day before you do. And so those are the things that I think women are looking for too, that you don't want to be taken for granted, because we are turned on by what we hear.
Right.
Okay. Y'all turned on by what you see, but we turned on by what we hear. And you have somebody telling you this and you this and you that, and you're not getting it at the house, your heart start longing another place. And so I want the men to realize as well, just like we got to put in the work, y'all got to put in the work. Y'all got to put in the work as well.
Women need to understand. Let us love you.
Yeah.
Let us love you. And forget about that. I'm not, you're not going to forget about that. That last relationship, excuse me, has nothing to do with this one. Okay. If we make the decision that we're going to try and build and grow, then let me love you my way. Right? And I promise you, if you let me love you my way, that love will be the last issue you will ever have to face again on earth.
Well, and so what, like, for instance, somebody was saying something about the flowers. Send the flowers. Like Bill got my flowers on auto ship. Okay. He military. Okay, y'all. He gonna get it. He got them on auto ship. That's I don't care as long as I'm getting them. So, and when we're out, like we ran into Ron yesterday at the June 10th, and he was holding my hand, was walking, holding hands, and somebody told me they was good, glad to see me yesterday. They said, you look like you're at peace and that you're happy. Well, I am at peace and happy with my man holding my hand, and we walking and having and enjoying stuff together. But that's the way I want to be in my relationship. So those are things. I don't want to have to grab his hand. We want to know that you want to hold our hand. We want to know that I have a friend, they've been married 40 years. He still opens the car door for her, puts her in and takes her out. So we went on a vacation with them in this year in Hilton Head. And every time we go, he's opening up the car for her. And I was like, Bill,
See, but
you open
and
up
I-
car for me. I was just playing because see, I'm not gonna sit there and wait for him to come all the way around. I'm getting
Yeah.
out the car.
You,
Okay.
There
you know
you
what
go.
works for y'all. You know what
don't
works for
need-
y'all.
I
Yeah.
didn't need that. That doesn't work for me because I'm ready to get in there. But one day we were all together. He said, stay. And then he went and opened up the door. And it was just a joke. But that's what she needs. That's
Right.
what she needs. Every woman doesn't need the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm ready to get out the car. I'm not gonna wait for him to get out and come all the way around and open it. But that worked for her. And that's what I'm saying. Know your man and woman's rhythm.
That part.
I like that part because a lot of women put it in just one. Again, the spaghetti. It's
Right.
all one thing, and
No.
whatever seems to be the best, all of us should get this. And you might not even like that, but you want
Right,
it because
right.
it seems like that's working for them, and that's not
I've
even.
never
who you are.
liked that. I've never been one.
And that's the whole
that-
point that
part of
comes in. You have done it because some women should grab their man's hand because the man want to know that she's clutching to him for protection or to be closer to them.
Mhm.
It's people. It's not man or woman. It's
Right.
people.
That's
People.
good.
That's
People
good,
have
that's
to,
good.
men want to know that you're looking for me. Oh, you call who before you call me if something's going on in my house?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
part.
You understand
That
what I'm
part.
saying? Like,
That part.
you,
Yeah.
did you that because he did such a good job at my friend's house, I'm gonna call him. Call me first. Let me do it.
Exactly.
I'll give a secret. I don't cut no grass. Where I
Mhm.
came from, we had no grass in the projects.
Mhm.
So I shovel snow. I'm
Mhm.
from,
Yeah.
from the New York area.
Michigan. Yeah.
So don't talk about me not being able to cut no grass because I found the landscaper and I paid him,
Mhm.
and he cut the grass on time. But
Yeah.
I'm not less of a man because I don't cut
But you
grass.
don't cut the grass.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Dry, you quiet. You got anything to say?
But no, they the brothers are hitting it right on the head. But kind of like what Jamar was saying, women have to know themselves and love themselves and know what they want for themselves before they can ask for that from their man.
That's true.
So, just because your friend is getting this and doing that, you might not intend.
Right.
So what works for them, but we have to figure out what works for us.
And that's
Absolutely.
why I brought that up about the card, and I was teasing him, but my husband knows that I don't need him to open the car door for me, but I can tell you there are women that have been starved out. I remember my first date after my divorce, and it was we were going somewhere. He stopped to get gas, the guy, and he said, "Would you like something to drink?" At that time, I don't even think they had a lot of paying at the thing. And so he went in and I said, "Yeah, can you bring me a ginger ale?" Well, the dude came back with the can and a paper towel and a straw. And he got in the car and he wiped down my can. He opened it and he had a paper towel where he put the straw in and he handed it to me. Y'all had been starved out so bad, I fell in love right then. Because
burners.
it was so thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? It's the thoughtful things that women look for, that when he did that, all I saw was that's a very kind person. Just a very kind person. That wasn't a love, I didn't continue to date him, but those are the little gestures that I think we look for that most, and that was, you could tell that that's just him. But so we have to know each other and know what works. What works for one woman doesn't work for the other. What works for one man doesn't work for the other. So
Yeah, I think on that, Angela, it's important though. If you ask me where did I learn it from, I think I learned it from. I can't say I learned it from my father.
mhm.
That I don't think that would be true because they didn't show that type of love or that type of attention to detail. Those men would get the job done, bring the bacon, bring the bread home, and we'll do the bacon.
Mhm.
So I learned it over time, and as we changed as men, and it has changed. The role that men play, I think, is some things that are pretty common. Work hard, take care of the family, support. But our ability to show emotion, affection, and support has drastically changed from what my father did.
Oh
So I
yeah.
had to grow into this new role of what I do, how often I do. My dad was intentional about paying bills and being home.
Mhm.
That's totally changed. Linda looks for more than me pay bills and be home. She wants me to be present. She wants me to have fun. She wants me to take vacation. She wants me to take care of myself. She wants to work out with me. She wants to laugh and watch TV. So I had to learn those things. So I say that you got to also give your man a chance to learn how to love you, how to do the things for you. And you may have to teach some of them that, because some of us didn't learn it.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Let's look. Okay. Here's the question. Here's a question. Tevlin, I'm gonna ask yours too. Okay. Women, generally speaking, will forgive infidelity specifically 1 or 2 times. Are you willing to forgive a woman's infidelity even in a marriage?
That's a weird animal. You don't know it. You don't know it till you get to it. You don't know the answer to that. You can say yay or nay. You don't know. I just know we can't handle what we put out. Men,
that's good.
That's good. That's and once again, there it goes. That's one of those questions that's a question, but no. So there's no cut and dry. Every one of us got a different answer, and for me, I don't know. And so in my mind, I know I can't handle it. If I put that out, I don't think I can handle it, because I think in pictures. I'm visual. I'll play that whole thing back. No.
So I like what you said. They can't handle what a lot of men can't handle what they dish out. Okay. Anybody else come from a different perspective?
It's about the possessive portion of it. I'm sorry. It's a possession portion of it, because there's a lot of guys out here sharing women and vice versa. And they know that they got a woman got a husband. You know that she has to be that intimate with her husband, but they still messing with them too. So it's not about that. It's a possession portion. And we watch this in the animal kingdom. You know, once the person established himself as an alpha, there's no other alphas there. And messing with a man also is a direction too. Men are not following another man's direction, you know, but through 2 and 3 other women can follow one man's direction. But other men are not following one man's direction. So once you start messing with another man, he start downloading that other stuff into, you know what I mean? He's going his other path. He don't care what path you going. So can you handle it? Yeah, until you say, this is mine, till you start possessing that's yours, then that's where the problem coming in.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it, no. Okay, bottom line. And I've never been in that situation. I never want to be in that situation. And I'm saying no right now, simply because if I'm ever put in that situation, I don't know what direction I'm going to go in. Right? And if I'm in a relationship, I should never have to worry about that.
True.
Because I'd rather you tell me, look, this is not working. You leave, I leave, or what have you. Don't put me in that situation. Even more importantly, don't put yourself in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with David. No, and history has proven that. So, you know, I know people want to dance around it. Reality is, Andre said it. We can't handle what we put out. So data shows that men can't. Now, you know, when, as Jamar said, if you're not married, or it's not a committed relationship, and it's like, okay, we belong to each other, then men do have this, you know, these things that they go out there and they but when you get married and it's who you with, most men, 99% will say no. Now we can dance around it all day, brothers. Most of us can't.
Can't handle it. Can't handle it.
Sure.
I don't even like the thought of the question. You know what I'm saying? Go to another question. Matter of fact, I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm going on mute.
That's a whole question, man.
Huh?
That's a twofold question, though.
Yeah.
First of all, the question probably kind of presents that men commit infidelity more than women. And then secondly, the second part of that is that women forgive infidelity at a higher rate than men.
And you don't by you being an attorney, you may see something that we're not seeing. Are you saying that's not true?
Well, you already know I said that's not true. You've been spoken to me.
Because you said women cheat more.
I got the tapes, Angela. I got more tapes than any person should have. I'm probably gonna open up my own OnlyFans.
Wow.
I mean, let's be honest, ladies. I ain't gonna bust you out, but I'm kind of bust you out a little bit today. Y'all sleep around too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and women just tend to be more discreet
Mm-hmm.
when they do
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part of that is, what are you calling forgiveness for infidelity?
Mm-hmm.
Because staying in a relationship does not necessarily mean you
You
forgave that person.
Man, you better talk, man.
Wow, preach.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
God.
They true because they can never live it down because you're constantly being beat
Right.
up by it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot of times people are using that as leverage over.
Control.
A
Yeah.
lot of women use that as leverage over the man. When I'm gonna keep it real, some of y'all slept around or sleeping around too, while you're using that as leverage, because basically that kind of keeps the other person from finding out your dirt, because they're always defending their own dirt. Like I said, I got the videos, I got the investigator reports, I seen what y'all do. Now y'all good now.
So we good.
You know?
Women good.
Them little box. It's that little
They got a
box.
better network. Men can't hold no secrets, man. That's why if you're a man, you do anything, don't tell another man. Please don't tell another man. That ain't no that the minute that other man know, it's a wrap.
So
don't tell your homeboy.
So that's it, huh? It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
So here's another question. Anybody else want to answer that question?
Oh, I think really it boils down to it's almost like if a burglar goes into your house. That's why the man is like, okay, nah, I'm not with this because you've been inside my house.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a big psychological difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you realize there had been no forced entry. Okay,
right.
Exactly.
You ain't even break in.
Y'all some visual people. Y'all can
I told you. I told you.
What you say?
We come from a visual world.
Yeah.
We come from a visual world.
So y'all say, especially you didn't break in, huh?
There's a movie, I think Steve Martin, I can't remember if it's the one, The Man with Two Brains, or which one it is or whatever. But in there, he is a visual thing because he's supposed to be a man, but he has the mind of a woman or something like that. And he doesn't want to be with the person that he's in bed with. And his solution was, okay, just think of fat nuns and dead cats, fat nuns, dead cats, fat nuns, because we're
visual. Yeah.
Visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a question I had. Okay. Raspberry said, I ain't gonna lie. Heck no, I can't handle it. I'm honest with me. So I stay my butt home and cater to my wife. There's no repairing a broken mirror, so don't break it. Okay. Here's a question. It was one that I saw that was really good. Okay, so I love what y'all said about the qualities that you look for. What do you do? Okay, what should you know about each other before entering a committed relationship or marriage? What should you know? What are some of the things that you feel like you need to know up front before you make that? Because people go in. I've heard things like, this girl married this guy and she did not know that he had a child that he owed child support with, and when their tax return came, all the money got taken. The back support. Like, what? A whole child. I didn't know about a whole child. I mean, a whole child and the money gone. And so, what should you know about someone before you jump into a marriage along like that?
Well, I got a question first. Did that man get a Father's Day card?
No, he got some divorce papers. That's what he got. He got some divorce papers.
What happened on Father's Day?
She got out of that quick.
Oh, oh, that hurts.
He forgot to tell her about a whole child. And he was
It
A
wasn't
whole
the
child.
support. She was mad about the child support.
I
She
think,
could've helped that kid.
I think, you know, once again, you can't lead into, I want to share this with sisters. You can't lead into a relationship with how many people has hurt you. All the men, it's always all their fault. Because you know, if a person leads with their pain, they're gonna hurt you because they're trying to find a way to manipulate you into guilt love, is what I call it.
Yeah.
They want to make you not leave, not do this, or not address certain things because they can't handle it. So that's you can't lead with guilt. But once you discover that, you know, like a lot of time I say this, it don't take a man long to do nothing we gonna do. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And we know if you're the one, you I'll just say this. You know he's the one or she's the one when you can trust them with your guts. Some of your vulnerable points, some of your own personal traumas, you know, what make you tick, you know, why you think the way you think sometimes, you know. And if you can trust that person with what you deem some of the one of the worst or some of the worst parts of you, and they don't flinch, they don't run from you, but you don't share this up front.
No.
You share this as.
But if you're talking about getting married, then you need to share some things.
Right.
I mean, like I have someone asked, she said, I have anxiety and sometimes don't realize when it kicks in. And it may drive a man away and make him feel uncomfortable. She wants to know, do you tell him? If so, when in the relationship do you tell him? At the beginning? Because the man not thinking, because he may think that you're not as strong when you have anxiety, but you know who you are. What are some of the ways to address this and when to tell your issues, or should you tell your issues?
But
It's dependable. I would say it depends, Angela. It depends on the feeling and what you feel in that relationship and that conversation. You know, so you know, I think there are a lot of things that are important, but it's really so ladies, I don't want you to walk away thinking it fits every man the same way. It doesn't.
Right.
It's like it's a customized suit. And you got to be well enough aware of what and when. But I'll tell you, things for me was I want to know your money status, and not just money in the bank. I want to know your habits with money. I want to know your savings with money. I want to know what debt you're in. I want to know your credit score. If I'm going to marry you, now if I'm just dating you and I'm just kicking it with you, I'm probably not concerned about all that stuff. But when I get to the place where I really want to bring you home to mama, and I want you to be my wife and not just my boo. There's some things I want to see if we're a good match for each other. Because if you're spending, I grew up with nothing. So spending money like really unrestricted or undisciplined would absolutely drive me insane. Because I knew I grew up where my parents lived from paycheck to paycheck. So I didn't want to be that person in my marriage. I didn't want to be that guy. So money was important. Children, you know, when you walk into it, if they don't have kids or if you want to have kids, so you want to talk the whole thing about children. That's important to me. Job. Look, how do we see work and how long do we plan to work and what does work look like and who should be working? And are you going to all of a sudden not want to work and I'm going to take care of you? So that was important for me. Your health was important. Like I wanted to know medically and I wanted to be able to share medically with you. Like you say, anxiety, or you dealing with anything, high blood pressure, diabetes. You know, health matters because it impacts us and how we're going to take care of you, because it's going to change over time. And I want to be able to make sure I'm mature enough to handle what may be happening with you later in life. We're doing good now, but when I get 60, this ain't gonna work that way. So I kind of want to talk about that while I'm 30 and know what I'm gonna get myself into. And then I think the other thing that was really important is I want to know what role you have with your mother and what role will I have if your mother's still living with you. If your mother's still involved, I want to know, are you really going to allow me to have as much influence as I may want to have? And that was really important to me. You know, Linda mom is still alive, but Linda mom and my mom never got in our conversations ever. Neither one of them on both sides. And I needed to know that up front that they were not going to mingle and mess with our relationship. And both our mothers, made a promise that they would not mingle or mess with our relationship. And that was important for me.
That's good. That's good.
Good.
Ron hit it on a bunch of different heads. Okay. But at the end of the day, and to put it in a nutshell, anything, and Angela, I've been there, anything going on in your life that is going to affect what goes on in our lives, we need to talk.
Yeah.
We
So
need to talk.
would be that credit score, how you
Of
spend money,
course.
if you owe taxes,
Yes.
have you been arrested before, and little things like that. Because when I give couples 276 questions to ask, and those questions come up because it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It's just that you need to be aware, especially if you owe taxes, because they're coming for my money then. So I need to know, did you pay that tax bill before and those little things that you have to know. One of the questions that I asked Bill was, how did he feel about aging parents? Because my parents were getting older when I met him. And I said, how did you feel about caring for aging parents? I don't believe putting them in a nursing home if I don't have to. How do you feel about that? And that was one of the questions. He said, oh no, he believed in taking care of his parents. Like I tell Gerard's wife, Gerard is an only child. And so my daughter, mother-in-law, if something happens to her, I've already told Krista, there are going to be things that Gerard and his father may not be able to do for your mother-in-law. You and Jamie, y'all will have to care for her if she gets sick, because you're her only daughter, even though you're her daughter-in-law. And so those are the things that you have to consider. And I told her that even before they got married, you will be it, because he's an only child. And so he told her he didn't want to move too far away from this area because he is an only child and his parents are getting older. So those are the kind of things that couples need to discuss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I would say to the ladies is there should be no secrets. Don't come into a situation as a bone collector. Get those skeletons out that closet. And one thing that I alluded to on the last session is I'm an advocate, and so is my wife, for premarital and marital counseling. Those sessions they're going to open the door on a lot of uncomfortable subjects, a lot. And it was some times where we left up out of there mad at each other, and I ain't want to open no doors for her, but it's going to definitely be uncomfortable. So I would say just put everything on the table, everything.
And so, my biological father, people knew that I was a fatherless daughter, because y'all know I do the whole fatherless daughter movement. But what people didn't know was that my biological father suffered from schizophrenia and paranoia. And he was in the VA hospital in what's that big one in North Carolina. He was there for 47 years. I can't lead with that. I couldn't lead with that.
No.
That had to come later. That he struggled from schizophrenia and paranoia. That would have been a shut door for me. And so some things you have to know what to lead with and what not to lead with. Yeah.
I was thinking you was just having a hot flash.
Hi, David. But you had to. I had to wait till I could demonstrate that I had a sound mind. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because that is hereditary. That does.
That's what they said. So
I think Ron summed it up, man. I think Ron summed up what I was saying. I mean, I'm not gonna say it as articulate as he did. That was well said. But are you crazy? Are you bad with money? Do you have a crazy baby daddy? That's primary. That's primary 3. Are you crazy? Are you bad with money? Whether you crazy or not. And Angela, I put this out there on the social media one time, but I'm gonna check your medicine cabinet. You know,
When you go to the bathroom,
I go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go through your
Gonna take
cabinets.
the medicine cabinet.
Yeah, you got Dapper Code.
yeah,
and
Procol,
Adderall.
propranolol, and all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, something came up.
So good. That's good. So I have a question. What makes a woman sexy?
Ooh.
This is a grown man's answer. I mean, what makes a woman sexy?
Femininity.
Mhm,
It's something simple, like when your wrist dangle,
mhm.
or the way you move, the softness of your tone. Lisa says this phrase to me that melts me. She calls me dearest.
Oh wow, I like that. Mhm,
And you talking about sexy. God. Oh, that girl hit you with that dearest.
mhm,
And I watch her interacting with her kids, with the boys, our kids, but my kids are grown. So when I look at her, how she interact with Jeremiah and Raekwon and Sanaya and the grandbaby, she's a nurturer.
mhm.
So it's something about that. And if she does that for them, and she sees about me, matter of fact, I got to learn to receive this, because
Mhm.
I was the giver in many cases, but she's a giver. She's a nurturer, and her femininity is it's a lost art.
Feminine
You-
energy. Yeah,
What's this? A slip. When the last time you seen a slip?
I know, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? A slip
You know
is.
what? Young girls don't even know what a slip is.
Don't-
I just cussed.
don't
I know
even-
someone was like,
They
"What's
don't
a
even know
slip?
what a
A
slip
pink
is.
slip?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
a slip. Yeah, some.
I haven't heard anybody mention slip until just now, and I don't know how long.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I've
You
forgotten all
forgot that
about.
they made. You
They
can't
still
find them
Forgotten
in,
all about them.
and you can't find them in the store.
They make the Spanx stuff now, though. The
Right,
whole
I was gonna
stuff
say they've been replaced by Spanx, man.
now. Yeah.
That would-
Okay,
Wow.
somebody else. What makes a woman sexy to you?
For me, Angela, it is intellect. I
Intellect.
love intelligent conversation. I have to have it. I would like. There was this one lady in my life that had this perfume. I'm not going to name it,
Mhm.
but when she would leave the room, that fragrance lingered.
Mhm.
Many years, every time I would go somewhere and I would smell that fragrance, I would look for her. You
Mm.
know, and I know it's probably a million other women that had that same fragrance, but the way a woman enters a room
Mhm.
and the aura that she brings in that room with her,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
to me, is the sexiest thing on the planet.
Wow, that's good.
good.
That's good. Anybody else?
David Jill Scott said it didn't smell the same, man.
Y'all ready for that?
Yeah,
So
I know where you're going, and I'm not going to go there.
don't follow Kevin up. Sometimes you have to take Kevin's phone from him.
He got that good insurance.
Okay. What else makes a woman sexy?
It's hard to pinpoint for me because there are so many little things
Right.
that can be done,
Mhm.
and it's just kind of really just there, and you know it
You know
when
it.
it hits. And you know it when
know
it hits
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You go like, man,
Yeah.
God,
Mhm.
it's just so many little things,
Mhm.
and that's what I've had the conversation with a lot of women. When they talk about pretty women and all that kind of stuff, I said, the way a woman looks has nothing. They can't challenge
Yeah.
sexiness,
Right.
no matter who it comes from. It's going to win every time, no matter
You
what.
have so many women that are commercial now because they all look alike. They all act alike. I'm talking about the TikTok generation. The same this, same that, same nothing. No. And you're trying to figure out why you can't pull, and that one you call ugly or whatever you call it, she snatches up the valuable one because of the essence of who she
That-
is.
That thing.
So
That
she's
thing.
authentic. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother said this one time. He said when a man is attracted to a certain woman, he can walk in the room and it can be tons of what you call Halle Berrys in there, but he only sees that one woman.
Girl, right there.
Sees that one woman that he has eyes for.
Mhm,
She goes, you know,
mhm.
that's aura about
Yeah,
herself.
Yeah.
yeah, I think for in answering the question, it's how she makes me feel and the way she cares for me.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm,
that feeling of I hear you, I see you, I appreciate you, I love you,
mhm,
regardless of what all they bring to the table. Like I gotta feel, you know, and I'm a that's me as an individual. I gotta feel like I'm important, that you hear me, see me, and you know, simple things that Linda will do. I can remember I was buying a car, you know, at one point, and we had already had a discussion about this car, what she was going to get. When we get to the car dealer, and the guy that's servicing us, you know, he says, "Who's the car for?" He says, "You know, for her." He begins to talk to her. I say, "All right, honey, we can leave."
Come
mhm,
on.
She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, you just lost the deal." But she said, "Because he's the person you need to talk to.
Come on.
mhm,
He's doing this." So her stepping in and saying, "Hey, let's go, honey," because he just disrespected you.
mhm,
So that is sexy. That is that a woman that puts me in a position where I don't have to ask for it. She
mhm,
personalizes
Mhm.
her conversation, her touch, the way she shows other people how to treat me, from the kids to her mother to my mother to my sibling. That is sexy
Got
mhm,
a bigger
because that's
car,
the
didn't you?
one. Yeah, that you can do whatever, but if you can help me feel that significant, you get past all the physical stuff because the physical
Come
stuff will
on,
disappear.
Ron. Come
mhm.
on.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's a lifestyle. It's not a one shot thing. You know,
Oh, I
you
like that.
you know,
I like
especially you think about nowadays, you know, who you go home with, who you met at the thing is probably not who you go home with. So, but so that's really that. But it's a lifestyle, you know,
It really is.
where you because contrary to popular opinion, we're not the only ones that show up with the representative. You
Yeah.
know, so
right,
if
right.
when we meet you, you are glimmer lights and everything like that. And then once you comfortable, you
Mhm.
hell on wheels, then that's a whole nother situation. So can you keep that sexy? And is it, you know, again, even that look, is that about you? Did you get up like that to meet a man? Or did
Mhm.
you get up like that because that's who you are?
That's
who
who
you
you
are.
are.
Get
There
your
you go.
toes and nails done because
Yeah,
that's what you
because
do.
that's who
You
you
keep
are.
your stuff together because that's who you are.
Wow.
It's our job to not to take you down and maintain it or take you to another level,
Yeah.
but that should already be there. That's sexy. Like she wants her own time to make sure she's beautified.
Mhm,
I'm gonna add to that. You know, she
Yeah.
don't just, you know,
Mm.
snatch, you know, she won't show up at, I mean, it's sexy when you can look at them in the morning, you
mhm.
know, because
Right,
how
How
you
they
right.
walk.
sleep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not because, oh, she got to put everything together in order for me to be out, walk outside with you. You know, it's
Right.
like,
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
man. So it's just those type of things. But it's a lifestyle, though. It's not a one-shot deal. We can now the guys are buying abs and stuff like that. So, so all of that back and forth is a lifestyle because you know we're just trying to get that initial situation and see if we can keep it going.
Good.
But
I,
fellas,
I think I
go
think
ahead.
Angela, on there, one thing that's not for the women, and you see it more and more now. What's not sexy is drama.
Okay.
And 10% of
Uh-oh.
brothers may like that, but I will tell you that if you
Now,
approach me yelling, screaming, cussing, showing out, we're done. It's
We're
just
done.
not going to work. Yeah, so I will tell the women that like, I got it. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get angry. You're going to have disagreement, but don't make it a political news station. Don't make it all of a sudden drama where everybody's drawn to it. That is a huge no for a lot of men.
yeah.
Well, you know,
Mhm.
Peace, peace and
that goes
confidence.
back to the peace and confidence. She got to bring
Mhm.
Confidence. Are you confident in yourself?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I point out to these ladies, very few remarks included how somebody looks, their physical appearance,
Very few. Very
body
few.
makeup. You didn't hear men say any of that. I mean,
None of that.
so you can pull whatever you need to pull off if you are truly confident in yourself. Stop listening to other women. I mean, stop
Don't
reading
have nobody.
magazines. Yeah, stop watching that television. I
Mhm,
mean,
You're
men are
right.
telling you what we like.
mhm.
And we know y'all do it for the other women anyway. Y'all not getting dressed up for us. You ain't put that makeup on for us. You scared them other women go look at your nails and say you dusty.
No, and well, I know I do it because that's just the way I was raised, take care of myself. My mom was a prissy woman.
I'm not talking about you, Angela. We know you.
But you know,
They know who I'm talking about.
you know who you're talking about.
Oh.
But here's the deal. I think as a whole, y'all have just really answered a lot of questions. One of the things that that was said last week, so I had a few ladies say that they didn't know. They didn't know that how what y'all shared when y'all described what disrespect looked like and how the language that was being used. I mean, I've had them say they just didn't know. And one lady said, she said, Angela, all I saw was my mama cuss my daddy out. You know, she said, and I had a couple of them say, I don't know how to language it the way you said it, the way you said. So they're saying they've got to go back and learn a new way of showing up in their relationships, a new way. And somebody saying, Angela, you need to do a boot camp retreat. And I said, well, and I may, do some role playings and stuff, because I appreciate the honesty. I didn't know, and I don't know how. But so I want you to know that y'all brought that out, that was honest. Yes, Jamal.
I just want to say one thing again to the ladies closing out. Y'all have the cheat code. Y'all really do. All of us was young at one time, and we did the dumbest thing in the world, maybe multiple times, to be in y'all presence.
Mm-hmm.
As you heard, I've come from a different world when I was younger, and I would see men of stature like us now chasing behind crackheads or women that was more undesirable because of that peace situation. Because of but you don't see women like you guys going after no crackhead guys or no undesirable dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You will wait first.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the cheat code already. You already there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't mess it up. It's like that teacher that say you got A+, everybody starts with an A. It's up to you. If you keep it, you already got the A. We already want y'all. We already chasing y'all. We already ready to put it all online to get around y'all. We raised that way, a lot of us anyway. So, stay true to yourself. Be the women who you were raised to be, the ones that was raised, probably everybody not raised the same, but I think that the majority, I'm gonna, have faith that the majority of women were raised right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't switch from that. Like, stay out of the TV, stay out of all the negativity. That right man gonna come, but you might have to help him he might be 80%. You might have to help him get that upper 20. Don't be too big to help him get to that upper 20%.
That's good. So Rebecca says, you guys rock. Y'all need to teach the boys who think they're men the true essence of how real men should care for the heart of a woman. That's good. Thank y'all so much. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in. We were running about 39 to 40 some women here, and that's pretty good for a Sunday afternoon. And I didn't do ads. I didn't do any mass this just, sending it out to my list and doing a few posts. So I want to thank y'all for being here. I think we're going to do some more, but we're going to do it on one topic. Like, we may do one topic on sex and intimacy. We may do one topic on, we're going to, but I got to do something with these brothers. So because they bring such a diverse perspective, and I trust them, So closing out, just 60 seconds. Let's everybody, y'all give a closing summation. We'll start with you, David. David, go ahead.
Okay, ladies, I'm just going to say this in closing. One thing. Number one, a woman without a man can never teach you how to keep one. And beauty is always trumped by attitude.
David, what'd you say?
I don't have nothing else to say.
But I'm serious though. All right. And she's the first one you're gonna run to. All right. She ain't had a man in so long.
You don't even like men.
But that's where you're going for your advice. And she'll always have enough of it for you. Okay. But I said beauty is always trumped by attitude. And the more attitude you have, it's gonna lower your
Yeah.
interest
Yeah.
rate.
Oh, your interest rate. Okay, good. Thanks. Jamar, is he? I think he frozen. I think he frozen. Yeah. Tommy, closing.
I just want to leave the ladies with chemistry in relationships, whether it be married, boyfriend, whatever, dating, whatever. There's a new chemistry that's happening. You need to know how to wield it and respect the chemistry that is now, because for the first time in the history of the world, we're in that big 30-year period, whereas women are making their strides in the world and can make their own money. Used to be a time, the man go out and kill, bring it back home, the woman will cook it up, and I'm talking about from the beginning of time.
The hunters gatherer, yeah.
Yeah, and now for the first time ever in the history of the world, everything is shifting, and that chemistry is changing, and you need to learn that chemistry is there and how to respect it, and because everybody's thinking about a relationship different now, because the man knows what he can't dog and take control of. The woman knows what he can't take control of also. So you have to meet somewhere.
Absolutely. So
respect the new chemistry.
Respect the new chemistry, the new way of engaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin.
I'm gonna take Jamar's words from last. I thought they were his closing remarks from the last time. I thought that was so profound. And I'm gonna just repeat what he says. We love you, ladies. We love you. We really do. But you got to be confident in that. And we hope you don't gravitate to all that other information that's out here in public space that says we don't love you. Because there's so much negativity now being pushed on, especially Black men and Black women. And without that understanding that we really do love you, you have a continued eradication of the Black family. And you really can't build anything that's going to maintain positivity in the Black community if you don't have strong Black families.
That's right. That's so true. That's why we're doing this, to preserve the Black family. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, Gerard. Wait a minute, let me unmute you. Let me see if you can unmute. Try to unmute now. Okay, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Ladies, I would say learn and know yourself. Have realistic, extra emphasis on realistic expectations for what you want and need in a man. Keep others out of your business, because if you go run to Sherry or whoever else, they're going to come to you with a biased response. And if you can't talk to your man about it, then you don't need to talk at all.
That's good. Because they're only hearing your version of it.
Exactly.
Right. They're only hearing your version of it. Right. Okay, Dre.
First of all, thank you, Angela, for pulling us back together. I keep telling you, you're one of the few, one of the few women that I know that have enough balance to handle or grace men, to be men and not run from our counsel or our feelings. I want to just share with the sisters, though, one of the biggest challenges is, and I just confronted this with a couple this week, it's so easy to think he's the problem alone. And man tried to do a lot to modify their lives in order to please you, but it seems like there's no pleasing, because you're often trying to get somebody to cover up or cover for whatever you might be deficient in, but you won't identify your deficiency. And when they do, it offers a challenge to you. And men, when you do get us to talk, we say what we mean. Don't mistranslate it. Don't make it mean something else. We've said what we mean. And back to the original thing, sometimes men lie, because if we spoke as truthful or forthright as you think you would want us to, it'll kill you. It'll crush you. Like we can't handle the thought of you being with somebody else. A lot of times you can't handle the truth about so we have to nurture each other in such a way to create a safe place. We're not each other's enemy. We're not trying to compete with each other. We're working to complete the assignment that God has given us for one another. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Ron, Jamal, have you gone yet? Close
No.
out. Go ahead. Give me your closing statement.
I believe that again, first of all, thanks so much again. And I'm having fun with the guys and ladies. You know, they always say, you know, God can't bless you when he can't recognize you. You know, and I think that our sisters, as I said previous time I spoke, is that you're great already. You're amazing. You were made that way. And so while you're working hard to be somebody else, be in a space where you don't need to be, then you can't get that blessing because you're not recognizable, you know, and somebody loves you the way you are. You know, we had this thing, it wasn't called that back in the day, but it's called now the friend zone. It's a man who worships the ground you walk on who is in the friend zone. You know, he can't have you because he doesn't measure up to a certain thing, but he will kill for you. He will literally kill somebody for you.
That's deep.
And it's probably more than one man that you know. And he knows you, he sees you. You tell him, you know, that's the guy you might be telling all your dirty secrets to. And he never runs. He hasn't went nowhere. He hasn't gone anywhere. He doesn't look at you different.
That's good.
But you don't want him. The person who's going to give you your blessing, or God's going to send to give you your blessing, sees you and he's there. Open your eyes and allow him to be who he's supposed to be to you.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. And last but not least, Tommy, you went, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, I went.
Okay, Ron. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Angela, and thanks to the brothers for showing up. Ladies, what I would share is don't allow anybody to destroy or dictate your character, regardless of what happens to you. And I know things are going to happen, but if you're going to be a good person and you're going to be a good woman, or you're going to be a good mother or a good wife, be that. At all costs, be that. And there's some things that you need to probably walk away from, but don't let people dictate who you're going to be because of their actions. Be very forgiving. You know, bring that into your relationship. You know, make space for forgiving. Continue to create the space that your man needs and that you need, and let the man know what it is that you desire to have. Have fun, and continue the conversations that we started over the last 2 weeks. Have that conversation with your man. Create the space to have that with no judgment. Even when some of the questions come up, they're going to land uncomfortable, as Gerard said, but don't judge it. Just work through it. None of us in this relationship, none of us are perfect. We're two imperfect people trying to make a perfect situation. None of us are perfect. And so give us grace. We'll give you grace. Listen to us. We'll listen to you. Talk to us so we can talk with you. But continue the conversation and give us grace.
That's so good. Yeah, thank y'all so much. I just I can't tell you how much I appreciate each one of you for even braving to come back this week. I mean, y'all just said yes, and I really appreciate this. And the women are saying that they're saying how much they appreciate it. Great session, and you know, great closing, Jamal. It was just great. Thank you for the session. People, they enjoying it. Great question, insightful answers. Thank you all. This is, and they say we couldn't do it. We can't come together and hear the truth. We can. We can. And so we're gonna try to figure out, I'll get with the guys and we'll figure out where we can go from this. My daughter suggested we have a live forum, you know, do it in the auditorium and have it, you know, have a set of guys and have the women ask questions, then have a set of women and ask. So we'll look at that. If we can get a sponsor, we may make that happen. And so who knows, we may take this. Y'all know me, I'll take it. I'll get a sponsor. We're going on the road. I turn it into a documentary. Y'all know I'm not.
Willie Nelson on the road again.
We'll take it. Tommy get the producers to do the music. We'll get this thing on the road. So something has to come from this. And so this is the beginning of something. And we, As soon as I get clarity, then I'll let you know. Don't forget to join me every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for an Awaken Love TV, where I help women redefine how we do love, dating, and marriage. That's an awakenlove.com and awakenlove.com. Catch me follow me on social media. I'm trying to do this doggone Instagram thing. I think I'm coming off because I don't like Instagram. I prefer Facebook, but find me on Facebook, Angela Carr Patterson. Awaken Your Life with Angela Carr Patterson. Join my fame group, Feminine Awakened, Mature, Evolved Woman. That's on Facebook. And be sure to check out my website, angelacarrpatterson.com. There's a free 7-day Awaken Your Life challenge that you get to take. You get an audio from me every day for 7 days. Very powerful. You're talking about going to transform and open your heart. It's definitely going to do that. And it's free. Y'all like the word free, don't you? Okay. So in closing, again, thank my distinguished guests and panelists. Thank you so much. That's Ron, Kevin, Andre, Tommy, David, Gerard, and Jamal. I love you guys from my soul. You know I do.
Love you too.
Thank you so much. And so, ladies, not only is love possible for you, it's inevitable when we learn how to make love work. Y'all remember to live authentically, to laugh every day. Embrace love as a lifestyle, because success in life, it begins with love. I'll talk to you soon.